Hey everybody, Steven here, and today I have a pair of very small form factor microphones that you can use with your phone that's going to be great for content creators. This is the BOYA Mini 2. Now I'm currently recording on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. This uses a USB-C or Lightning dongle as the receiver. So in regards to recording on my FX30, it's just not going to happen. This is really geared towards content creators that are using their phone to make their content. With this, I'm going to cover the specs here in a second, and then we will look at the Boya Central app, and then I'm going to showcase me using this at my studio to showcase the noise cancellation feature that this has. Now I will be cutting in some footage that I shot with my FX30 so I can get some up close views of this to showcase for everybody. But for the specifications, each of the mics only weighs 5 grams. They've upgraded this, so this has the AI noise cancellation up to -40 decibels. This is 48 kilohertz with 24-bit audio. This is 80 decibels for the signal to noise ratio and 120 decibels for the max sound pressure level. This has a limiter and safety track for distortion-free audio. And then you have the Boya Central app for gain and EQ control. And this has 6 hours of battery per mic and up to 30 hours with the case. Inside of the box here, you're going to get the charger case, 2 of the transmitters, the USB receiver, and then the Lightning receiver. Everything here is really small, especially the charging case here. If I put this next to a pair of iPod Pros, the case is slightly bigger than that. This is really small, easy to travel with, and you're still getting really good audio. And so I think that's going to be the big draw. You get great audio, but this is just extremely tiny. This fits in your pocket, so it's not this massive piece of equipment that you need to bring with you wherever you go. Now, with this being the second BOYA Mini, let's look at the quick differences between the two. So the Mini recorded 48 kilohertz at 16 bits. This one does the 48 kilohertz at 24 bits. And the first version did not have the safety track option. This one does. For the first one, it had a standard 1-click with 3 levels of noise cancellation. This one uses the AI noise cancellation, and so you have up to that -40 or that -50 for that, but it's going to manage that on its own for you, so it's intelligently doing that. Then we have the differences in the options or versions that you can go with. So with the Mini 2 here, you could do Type-C only, Lightning only. You can do the dual receiver. You can do no charging case. You could do a single transmitter. They're all going to be at different price points. For the original BOYA Mini, it basically provided you with a dual receiver with the charging case, and that was it. And then last, you have access to the Boya Central app, where the first version did not have that at all. With that being said, let's go ahead now and look at the Boya Central app and the different adjustments that you'll find there. So this is going to be the Boya Central app. Here you can see that we have the BOYA Mini 2. Right now I'm using the first transmitter. If I had the other one pulled up, it would showcase that as well. We can see the battery life and then the signal strength. Then underneath that, we have the left and right channel, so you can see where your levels are at. And then we have output gain. So I can adjust this. Right now it's on 3, but we could slide this back and forth and you could see that adjust. So let's turn that down and we can turn this all the way up. And then there you can see it's peaking a little bit, and then we'll go back down to 3. Then we have the noise cancellation here. This is going to be using that AI to help filter out any background noise. The only thing I really have going on right now is my PC fan, and then it's windy outside. But if I turn this off, you may potentially hear that now, but you may not. And so that is with the noise cancellation turned off. We'll turn that back on. Here I can adjust this from the strong to the weak. So the strong is going to be up to -40 decibels, and then the weak here is going to be -15 decibels. We can change that over to weak now. Recording mode. Mono, I don't want to do stereo, it's just me. But we could switch that over to stereo. So if you're needing to isolate the microphones here, you could do that. This is going to be great if you're doing an interview and you need to potentially adjust the other person's levels. Then we have the safety track. So if I turn that on, this is going to then record that secondary track where if anything was messed up with the audio here, I would have that, where if I didn't do that, I'd just basically lose the audio. Here it's going to drop the decibels to make sure that you have the option for a track that is potentially usable, compared to if you blast out the audio, you don't have that option. It is what it is. Then we have the mute. I'm not going to do that. And then we have our general settings, EQ settings here. So we have original. This is going to be the vocal boost. Then we have the low cut 75 Hertz. Then we have the low cut 150 Hertz. And then you can do a custom EQ setting here. And here, I just threw one up here. I was messing with this earlier. And so you can adjust all of this. You can rename it. You can make a bunch of these. You could delete them if you want. And then you could apply. So this is using the custom EQ there. I'll switch this back to original. And then you have the TX indicator and then the TX auto off. So for the auto off, it'll give us the info here. It powers off if not connected to the RX within 10 minutes. So if it's not connected to the receiver in 10 minutes, it'll just automatically turn off the microphone. And then we have the speaker down there at the bottom. So this is going to be the Boya Central app. All right, so I'm currently at my training studio. I have the warehouse portion in a building where up front we have massage therapists. In the back here, I have plenty of space to bring clients out here and do some exercises and things like that, or even create content. But right now the noise cancellation is turned off. And as you can hear the freeway. You can hear the cars over here. There's a bunch of machinery over here, and they'll be moving stuff. So you can usually hear that in the background as well. And so with it being this noisy, I probably wouldn't record content. And a lot of the content that I record also, if it's for my clients, it's videos where I'm showcasing to them, hey, this is what I want you to do with your program, right? Here's the exercises that I need you to do. And if they can't hear what I'm trying to explain to them in the video, they're not going to watch it. So how do I know if I'm standing here that I'm going to enable the noise cancellation? There's a little light on the receiver there. You're going to want to make sure that you actually have that in the direction so that you can see it. But once I push a button on here, and I'm going to push this right now, that's going to shift over and it will now be green. So now I have the noise cancellation turned on. And with this, I have this set to the -40, not the -15. So this is the higher amount of noise cancellation. So that should clean up a lot of this audio. Now, this being an area where it's pretty industrial and there's a lot of machines and things like that, there's going to be like loud bangs. There's going to be like the beeping from some of the machinery backing up or whatever it may be. Some of that, if it's just like a loud bang or whatever, I'm assuming that's probably going to cut through this just a little bit, but it would reduce that noise a lot. So it would still be usable for you, where right now if something crashes, like that's a wrap on the video. I'm not going to continue. I'm going to have to start over. So I really like the noise cancellation because now I can create content back here, where if I didn't have this, I don't know that I would really want to create content if it was a microphone that didn't have noise cancellation that was this good. So I think this is really, really good. And I'm going to turn this back off now. And so now I have this turned back off so we can hear the cars again and things like that. And right now it's relatively calm. It gets way louder than this, but even that is enough where it does make it so that I don't want to use the content that I was to generate, because it's just cutting through everything. And I'm not gonna, there we go. All right, so you heard that because I don't have the noise cancellation on. Somebody just sounded like they smashed something, but I wouldn't want to use that audio. And I'm not going to take this video and then port it over to Premiere Pro on my PC and clean up the audio on that and then try to pull it back. I'm going to turn the noise cancellation back on. There we go. I'm not going to do that. I want to shoot the video on my phone, have it ready to go in terms of the audio, and then export it if I'm going to send it to a client, or if I'm going to put it on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, I want that so that there's not multiple steps I have to do after I'm done recording, because that's already enough in terms of taking it over to Instagram or whatever, and then doing the hashtags and all that other stuff. I don't want more steps in that process. So this makes it very easy on the audio side and the recording side. So you're not going to need an extra step with that. So this has been the active noise cancellation test. One other thing that I want to cover while I was here at the training studio and actually allow you guys to see the training studio is the distance that the microphone can communicate with the receiver. So it's 100 meters, which is roughly 328 feet. Harder test to do. In terms of the distance in here, this is 35 feet for the total length. I have the camera pretty close to the wall. I'm going to go outside and showcase that. So we'll probably be maybe 70 to 80 feet, and then I'm going to showcase outside, and we'll go even further than that. But again, you can at least see the studio a little bit and the training space that I have here, and then we will showcase the distance. So now I'm outside. My guess is roughly 70 to 80 feet. I don't know exactly, but I do know that my training studio is 35 feet, and this is definitely over double that distance by the time that I actually get to the fence here. So now let's shift, and I'll actually do the full length down here, and I'll walk even further and showcase how far this is going to operate at. All right, so I'm on the side of the building. The building, in terms of the length, if I remember correctly, I guess it'd be technically the width for it, but I'm pretty sure it's 90 to 100 feet. So as you see to the left there, that building, that should be roughly 100 foot. And then my guess is we're probably somewhere close in the 200s, not quite 300 feet. With this, it has to be a straight line. So if you're putting walls and things like that in front of the microphone and the receiver, the connection's going to drop. Even if you turn your body away, you're going to lose that connection. It has to be uninterrupted with that. But this should work with this distance. I could probably push this a little bit more, but at this point, I can barely see my phone. I don't know that I would be recording this far away. But again, you can go up to 328 feet. Other things that are going to impact that is it's super windy, like environmental factors, basically, that may impact whether or not this is going to keep its connection. So as long as you have that direct line and you're not putting a bunch of stuff in the way and the weather is really nice, you can get a really good amount of distance in terms of the length that you would have between the microphone and the receiver, which is awesome. All right, so now I am back in the office, and I want to talk about the physical features of this. We covered the specs, we looked at the Boya Central app, and then we did the sound test for the AI active noise cancellation. For the physical features, I did showcase this compared to the AirPod Pro 2 case. It is slightly bigger, but basically the same size. On the bottom, we have the USB Type-C port, so you can charge this up. There is an LED light on the front, so it will tell you it's red essentially when it's charging, it's green when it's good to go. I mentioned for the microphones, they are 5 grams each. In terms of how you would connect this or attach this to your body, it has a clip and it is quite strong. They will showcase it being attached to your collar. If I had a dress shirt, I could actually put it kind of on the edge where you have the middle part there. I've seen some people, they use like a necklace and they'll attach it to that. I attach it to my hat sometimes, or you could just hold it, which I actually prefer most of the times if I'm just doing like a talking head, because it gives my hands something to do. I do wish this had the magnet feature that you find on the BOYA Magic. That has a detachable magnet, so you could actually put it in the middle of your shirt because the magnet will hold it right there. You could probably bunch up your shirt, and the clip is quite strong, so it may hold to that. But I think if you pulled it, in terms of just pulling the shirt away, it may potentially fall off, but I haven't tested that out. So that's going to be the physical features of this. My overall thoughts with this product is it's really, really good. I'm a big fan of Boya after the Boya Magic. That is my go-to like wireless mic that I've used with my FX30 camera. I've left it up at the studio because I do record content for my clients, but then I'll have something at the house where I want to actually record and I need that wireless mic and I forget that it's up there. And so I get home and I don't have it. So I have to use another product that I have. And nothing against the other product, but it's very bulky. These are extremely small. It's a tiny form factor. And I like that because when you look at the other one, it's so big that if I clip it to my collar, it pulls my whole shirt down. So I tend to just attach it to my hat. This one, I don't have to worry about that. These are not only really small, but they're really light. So I definitely appreciate that with the BOYA Magic and the BOYA Mini 2 here. But now that I have this, I can actually just leave this up at the studio. And so when I'm doing my content creation for clients and my other business, I can use this. Or when I travel, because when I travel, I don't bring my DSLR camera. I just bring my phone, and I need a good microphone. And this, it just fits right in my pocket. Now they do give you a little pouch you could put this in, but I would actually just put this in my backpack or my pocket. It's just so tiny. It's very easy to travel with. So I like the small form factor, but in terms of that, that doesn't quite matter if the performance isn't good, and you don't have to worry about that here. BOYA just has really good quality audio when it comes to their microphones. The AI noise cancellation here, I think it's awesome. It does a really good job. You do have that adjustment too. If you're like, well, this is too much, it sounds a little off. Well, then go from the -40 to the -15. In terms of adjusting the gain, just looking at the Boya Central app and the customization that you get over the audio, that's another massive selling point here, because that isn't something that you get with a lot of wireless microphones in this price range. So with this, $55 is what you're going to find online. There's a coupon on Amazon. If you do get this in time, you can get this for $45. In terms of the one that I have, which is with the USB-C here, and we have the 2 microphones and you get the charging case and all of that for $45. But let's say it's just the normal price of $55. Anywhere from $20 to about $60 in that bracket. Just looking at what's out there, they don't have all of these features. A lot of times you may have some noise cancellation, not all the time, but you don't have control over it. You usually don't have an app with it, so you don't get all of the features that you find in the Boya Central app and the customization over the audio that you're getting out of the product. You don't have that. It's more like, hey, this is the audio that you're going to get, and that's it. This offers just so much more than most of the other wireless microphones that I see on the market. With that Boya Central app and that customization there, like adjusting the gain, we can adjust the EQ settings. You can choose from the presets. You can have that safety track. That's not something I've seen on any of the wireless microphones that I've used. So now we have that safety track where if you are concerned that the gain is too high or anything like that, and it's going to blow out the audio, you still can salvage that video because of that safety track. I love that feature. So we have all the customization there. And with that, these sound really good. So we have small form factor, you have great sound quality when it comes to the audio, you have that AI noise cancellation, and you have all the adjustments that you can find in the Boya Central app. So I think this is a home run for Boya. This is going to be great because now I can leave this up at the studio for the videos that I need to record up there, and then I can keep the Boya Magic at the house. I think in terms of what they're offering with their lineup, the audio quality, the features, they are definitely one of the top brands out there making these products right now. So if there's anything in this video that I didn't answer for you, let me know down in the comment section. I will make sure to answer that for you there. I will have a link for this. Definitely check in on those sales because you can get this. It's already a good price, but you may get a little bit of a discount on that. And that is going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button for me as it helps the channel out. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.